pick out one thing out the scripture and try to lather it all over yourself and think all of a sudden you're magically going to be, Yaakov or Abraham, or it doesn't work like that. And so realistically, we have to be able to look at what our forefathers, and I always say this, I may have never said it to you, so I'm saying it now. To take the Torah out of context, as we see, has grave consequences. There is so much that is not written. I could get graphic, but I choose not to. But just a question, what kind of toilet paper do they use to wipe? I'm just saying. My point is, not everything is there. And wisdom, who we'll talk about another time, but wisdom dictates that we look at everything in context. So today we're going to talk about sister wife versus sister rival. What in the world? A long time ago somebody asked me, what in the world is a sister wife? Where did they get that term from? I don't know where that term came from. I don't know if that's our term or whatever the case may be. I haven't seen it, but what I did see the Torah call someone who is vying for the same position as you, it calls her a rival. And, oh, Mona, you making that up, sis. What verse is that? And we go to the book of 1 Samuel. I'm putting it up here so you can see. 1 Samuel, when we're listening to the story of Hannah and Peninnah. And if you remember the story, Hannah did not have any children. Peninnah did. And she used to get at Hannah. Okay? This made Hannah sad and she cried because she was her rival. When you look up the word rival, you'll see in the Hebrew that it translates as co-wife or sister wife or someone that is vying for the same position as you. I thought that was interesting. Because when you go back to Genesis and you look in the beginning, there was only one position. It says Adam was alone and the Most High made him a helpmeet, singular. And because there's only one position, as we demonstrated before, and we put person on top of person on top of person for the one chair. Imagine there's two chairs here. Say there's two chairs. One chair is the masculine chair, mean husband. The next chair is the feminine chair, mean wife, right? But there's only one chair. You remember back in the day when you was young and used to play musical chairs? Musical chairs is when you go round and round that one chair, when it's all the way down to the end of the competition. And when that music stopped, people will fight, kick each other over the thing, push them down to sit in that one chair. Now this is the wife chair. And the door is opened up that all of these people could sit in this one chair, but there's only really one chair. This was makes sense now when I was doing the study, and the Torah says it called her a rival. We come along, before I go there, no, I'm going to go there. We come along and say, nah, sis, it's your Western mentality. I know some people might not like that voice I put on, but I promise you, I've heard this voice before. So it's like me just making a little bit of light of what's really going on, although it's really a serious situation. But this is really the voices that some men actually come in. They be like, nah, sis, see, it's because you lack what it takes. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, if you want to say that. And after you've heard that so many times, you're like, let me go see if it's me, or let me see if the Torah that is telling that you can is bearing out another part of the reality. When we go to the law of don't take two sisters in their lifetime, it says that you do not vex her. Fast forward 2015. You have two sisters. You're trying to make, or sisters not related by blood, because they're gonna be like, sis, you twisting, you doing Pilates on that scripture. That's cool. I got you. So let's go. Let's keep going. You have two friends. You have two women, and you try to make them be sisters. See, because they gotta coalesce. They gotta be sisters. That closeness of a sister, that bond of friendship, I don't care how nice you try to make it, how sweet you try to make it, the nature of the woman at some point in time, and I always say, it's either going to be the affinity is towards the woman, meaning this is my friend, she has my back, or if the affinity is towards the man, both of them will be vying for their attention. They used to be sisters, but now they're rivals because they're competing for the one slot. I didn't say it. It's in Torah. So the question is it sister wife or sister rival? And are we missing the wisdom that the Torah is telling us. It used to be all good in the beginning. They were smiling, but he messed around and smiled at her too long. He messed around and said something nice to the other one for too long. He messed around and got it just takes any little thing. Because remember what Jeremiah said, the mind, who can know it? You understand what I'm saying? It's fickle. You can't know the mind. If the switch is on you. So they used to be like, man, it used to be all good. Now I don't know what's happening. Because you're treading in dangerous territories. So I bid you, please, take a look at those scriptures and really get the wisdom out of it. And when you are scratching your head, can't understand why it used to be all good in the hood and now it's a little bit messed up, it could because you're playing with fire. Fire, desire, fire and desire. You're playing with fire. And depending on where that fire is pointed towards, that desire is pointed towards, jealousy also works off of that fire energy. It's going to come up. And she has to be counterintuitive, because I'm speaking for the females at this point, because a lot of times it's females again speaking against. I'm just tell the truth. A lot of times the females are being beat down because of, oh, you're emotional. Hello, that's the way in which the Most High created women. But we'll talk about the topic of man and woman relationship and what is a wife and all that stuff at a later date. But for now, for those who may be understanding, how did this friend or wife or sister become my rival? It's in the Torah. This is what happens. Until next time, this has been Amuna Yisrael. And this is Solonomics 101. Enjoy. Shalom.